Sue here from Sue's Dog Rock My Garden today, and it's the 26th or 27th. I think it's 26th of April, Tuesday, 2023. And I have watered the polytunnel. We also had the sprinkler system on, then I went round all the edges and watered. Found a nest in the bag that I've got hanging up. Let me just show you. There's no birds in it. I think a robin was doing it, because if you remember in my previous video, one of my previous ones, there was a robin keep coming in here with stuff in its mouth, keeping me company. And I've just been over this side and I just found a nest, but there's nothing in it. Maybe they got distracted and, oh, I know why. It's probably because I shut the polytunnel doors and they couldn't get in. Anyway, there's nothing in it, so it doesn't matter. I just want to show it to you. It's in the old Marks and Spencer's bag I've got hanging up. Let me just show you. I'll show you. There's a nest. So I just went to see if there was anything in this bag. And there is. There's a little nest. I think a little robin made this nest in here. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's sweet. I'll leave it hanging there. Anyway, it's inside this old Marks and Spencer's bag. I think this used to belong to Simon's parents. I think my walkie-talkie is going dead. I think it needs a new battery. We've got rechargeable batteries. Anyway, today's jobs, what I must do, apart from taking a stone out of my boot, which is really hurting me, is I'm going to put on all these things. I'm going to sort these. Oh, what is going on? Oh, it's gone off. Yeah, I think the battery's run out. Look, need to go and change the batteries. I've got glasses everywhere. I keep bringing glasses out. Yeah, I'm going to lose them all, aren't I? Anyway, what I'm going to do today is tidy up this table. That won't take long. And then I'm going to put these on. And then I'm going to tidy up this table as well, because it's all getting a bit messy. And I don't like it. It's starting to really aggravate me. So I'm going to get rid of some of these things that things haven't grown in. I don't know. I don't think they're going to grow. They've had a chance. They've been in there for ages. And they're definitely not red bear and onions. So I'm going to take these out, pop them on, and tip that soil out into one of my buckets so that I can put my trees in there. Indoors. And this is let's just go and check on the Mizuna, which is going really well. Oh yeah, and also what we want to do over here is just weed this a bit. So we've got quite a lot of jobs to do. I've just had a rest. I just had my lunch and I've just had a rest, so I should be alright for at least an hour or so. And this is growing well. Cyclamen's growing back. Anyway, let's have a look over here. Look at the Mizuna. So once they start growing, they really start going. Oh, there's some life here. Rainbow beetroot. Starting to come up. You can just about see a couple of seeds. Nothing else. I can't see anything else. Nothing going on in here with the tomatoes. Nope. Nothing in here. A bit soon for all that yet. No. I just watered everything. Gave everything a really good soak. Because as I said before, the watering system doesn't reach around the edges, so I have to do all under the table over there. And then usually I go and do under the table where the strawberries are, and right at the edge of the strawberry bed, and then the edge of that bed, and the corner of there, the edge of that. In fact, all the edges. Doesn't quite reach the edges. The only way that would have worked was have another sprinkling system in, but no, I'm not doing that. This is enough for our needs. We'll just cope with it anyway. And I have to water the leeks because the water doesn't reach the back where the leeks are. But it's okay. Oh my god, I just spotted that. That is actually the asparagus that I planted last year. Oh my god, look, they're both coming up. There was two. Oh, I thought I didn't have any. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm still doing some from seed though. But that's really good, because I thought I'd lost them. I really did think that they had died. I'm actually not killed those. That's amazing. Something I haven't killed. I usually seem to kill everything. Like these seeds not coming up. I don't know why they haven't come up, but they've just not come up. And it's just the way it is, isn't it, with gardening? And this lot of seeds, these poor old sweet peas, they're not coming up, are they? They're not coming up. And I can't see any of the seeds. I don't know where they are. But they definitely are not coming up. So it doesn't look like we got many. We'll just take these ones out and put them in a pot. A bit weak. Yeah, I did put them in the potting compost, which isn't very good. And plus, I let them dry out, so it's my fault. But the old lavender's doing well. Yeah, and so is the moss. But the lavender's starting to get more leaves on it now, I notice. So we're just going to leave that. We're not going to interfere with that. These. See how the mole stuff goes around them? That's what it's supposed to look like. Anyway, let's get on. And I've weeded in between. I can't see any thyme, but they might not have germinated yet. I've just ruffled up the soil a bit because it sort of had a crust on it. So I've tried to get some of that crust off. And the chrysanthemums are growing well, and all these little ones at the front, teeny weeny ones, are petunias, and they seem to be growing. But the back ones are the ball carrots. But the thyme doesn't seem to be, I can't see any thyme, but we'll just leave it, because it might take a while to germinate, I don't know. Anyway, so we've weeded that bed so that we can actually see where the plants are. And I've weeded the end of the garlic here, and I swear there's some little creature keeps digging like underneath the soil, pushing the soil up like a little vole or something. If I remember, this happened last year as well. So I'm not sure that the garlic is going to be any good, because something might be disturbing the roots all the time and eating the roots of the garlic. But anyway, it's just an experiment anyway. It was only shop bought garlic, so if nothing comes from it, it's no great loss really. We just have to try and get hold of the garlic that you're supposed to do properly anyway next year. The tulip now. And this one's gone over now. I call these dinosaur tulips because the actual bulb bud of them looks like some kind of dinosaur. That's what it reminds me of. So that's why I call it dinosaur tulips. They're very unusual. And they turn themselves inside out. And they're sort of unusual, really unusual. But oh, they're all falling apart now because it's actually come to the end of its life, and that tulip there's nearly come to the end. Anyway, so I've done that so far, so I'm just having a little rest now before I do something else. I definitely need to put on the brassicas, so I might do that priority over tidying the table, because I've only got so much energy before I start feeling really worn out. It's just the way it is at the moment. I have to take small steps, and I need to sort out these peas because I knocked them down with the hose pipe. So I better sort the peas out, and I better sort out the brassicas. And yeah, it's 2:30 already, nearly 3 o'clock. Oh, nearly 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It took me ages to get going today. But yesterday I didn't have any energy whatsoever, and I didn't even come outside yesterday. I was so tired from the day before when me and Simon were over doing the pond area. And even though I didn't do much, I was out all day, and I did put the brassicas in, and just basically being outside and just walking about and stuff was quite tiring. Anyway, I might just weed this little bit here while I'm sitting here in between my nice calendula. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll just weed that bit and I'll sort out these peas. I might let you watch that bit. Give you something, because otherwise my videos become a bit boring, I think, with just me showing you before and after shots all the time. Sometimes it's nice for me to show you what I'm actually doing. So yeah, I'll hang you up and then yeah, that's what we'll do. Hi there. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust the camera accordingly. So I'm actually I tidied up the table a bit. I had to do it because I need to get these brassicas, all these, put in more pots. So I had to tidy up the table because it was really messy, and I've just I've just tidied it up, and I've got more earth in here for this potting. So anyway, I've got tweedle pies. Here's my tweedle pies. She's in my polytunnel. She is a bantam chicken. And we raised her from an egg. And we called her Tweedle Pies. She's about 3 now. And she just follows me. She just follows us around if we're out in the garden. She doesn't live with the other chickens because they don't like her. And she lives indoors. So she's got a rabbit hutch, and we bring her in at night and we let her out during the day. And if the weather's really bad, we don't let her out, and she stays in all day. But we just let her out the back door, and she stays in the garden and just roams around all day. Anyway, we'll do these ones first, because these are purple sprouting broccoli. I can tell that by the stems. So I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that pot. So we're going to start, just move them on only to this size pot, because they're not going to stay in the polytunnel very long. It's only while I still carry on sorting the beds out outside at the moment. Oh dear, the chickens are all kicking off. So we're just going to put them in here for a minute, and then we'll put them outside. Well, you can see me alright, you can see my head. I just chopped my head off, haven't I? Hold on, and then you might be able to see what I'm doing. You can still see what I'm doing. The weather's really weird today. It started off really sunny. That's quite nippy. So we're just going to break these up and pop them all on. So grabbing as much root ball as we can for each one. And there's always a root bit left. And take off the weed bits and the lower leaves. So they're getting all sort of yellowy and changing colour because they're running out of nutrients, because there's too many in one pot. You can tell they're purple sprouting broccoli because the underside of the leaves are purple lot. Or is that just because the leaves are going bad? So we're going to put these on right to the bottom of the pot, as far down as we can put it. I'm just going to put these on for now. One done. They've got good root systems, look. And they're quite sturdy plants. They're not all flimsy, they're quite sturdy stems. So it should be alright. two done. Oh yeah, always with your pots, if you picked them up from outside, you might want to just double check underneath that you don't go have little slugs, because they like sitting in these bits in between. Yeah, remember that. So if you kept your pots outside, just double check they're all right. I've done that before and had a slug hiding, and then when you go, they come out and eat all your produce you just put inside. So it's not very good. My purple sprouting broccoli outside is starting to get some flower heads on it again, so I think we're going to be taking another harvest soon. So I'm really glad. But purple sprouting broccoli, or any kind of broccoli, or brassicas in general, take a long time to grow, basically. So you have to be really patient. And it's better to start them in the autumn and overwinter them if you possibly can. Because then by this time they've come... Oh, excuse me. Hello, yeah, I'm just potting up some purple sprouting broccoli and some cauliflowers, okay? And I'm doing a bit of filming. Love you. Right, so carry on. Yeah, we've got our walkie-talkies. It's really good. We bought some rechargeable batteries now. So we've got a set on charge, a set in the things, and a set charged, so that we can. That's the only thing when you saw walkie-talkies. You need to make sure you've got rechargeable batteries, and then they're brilliant, aren't they? These are doing really well. One more. Treats. Oh, well, I've moved the nest bag over to that corner because in case a bird wants to come in here and nest. Well, it did make a little nest. It must have been a robin. I'll keep the door open a little bit at night in case they do want to come and nest in there, because they did make a nest, so you obviously thought it had potential. Right, so they're done. That was quick. So we're going to put on these cauliflowers now, because they're in these first size pots, really, really small. And there's a few of those. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 cauliflowers here, and they definitely need putting on because these pots are way too small. So let's get on with that. I think let's use the same sort of size pots again, or maybe a little bit bigger, yeah, because they're a bit bigger than the purple sprouting broccoli. So we're going to use this sort of size this time. I definitely think they want to get out of these pots. They've got a good root system, see? They definitely needed to come out of there. Take off these leaves. So they put more energy into sort of growing instead of having to keep the other leaves alive. And they should straighten up. They usually straighten up. Because I put that broccoli down there, didn't I? That cabbage, and it's straightened up now that was bent. And so I can pull it on there. So it will straighten up if I keep it round the way where the sun is. The sun's here, this side. Yeah, they're all doing. Still got a little bit of a cough. Take these leaves off. I might take that one off as well because that's got eaten. I might have to do that one again. It's quite weak. I might put it in a bigger pot. I'll have to cover the stem on that because the stem seems to be a bit weak. There. There. Now, so with brassicas you can bury the stems if they're too long and lanky, because that makes them more sturdy. That's what I've done with some of the plants I put outside and those red cabbage down there, and that's what I'll do with the other red cabbage when I plant them out. I will make sure I try and plant the stem a bit. Oh, it's gone all quiet. The traffic stopped for a second. I don't really notice the traffic. You can pick it up more on the camera, but it is we are on the A1470, but it's going into Dinner-Smeldy village, so it's quiet. They have to slow down here. It's gone really quiet. Right, where's the label? We don't want to get these mixed up, but we shouldn't be able to because the others are purple and they definitely look different. That's another one done. And this will be a good job done today. These are good, these little weenie pots. They actually go in a tray, but I haven't actually got the tray out this year so far. Clapton F1 hybrid, that's what these cauliflowers are. I think that's what they are. Lots of cauliflower and purple sprouting broccoli for the 21st of the 9th last year. So it's ages. See how long they take to grow? So what I'm going to do now is do these white cabbage. Find out, sweets. Find out, sweets. Move, 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 move. She's not really in a hurry. Right, here they go. 27th of the 1st. So I done these this year on the 27th of January, which was my sister's birthday. Right, so let's see how many white cabbage we got. Right. 20 white cabbage. You can smell smell like white cabbage too. Got a very distinctive smell. I'm just taking the lower leaves off before we put them on. Oh, it's loads. So all the seeds must have taken that I planted, so that was good because they were old seed. They were organic as well. Organic seeds. I don't know if that had anything different to do with it. I've never grown white cabbage before, so this should be interesting. I buy a lot of red cabbage because it's really good for my partner's feet, because he suffers from gout now and then. If he eats too much sugar, he's not allowed to eat fruit because that really flares his feet up with the sugar, the fructose. And then we wrap his feet in red cabbage leaves. But this year we had to buy red cabbage from the shop because I haven't actually got one done yet. But one whole red cabbage will last for ages. This is why I grow a lot of red cabbage over white cabbage. But this was just an experiment with these. I wasn't expecting them to come up. But they've all come up. So we'll see if they grow. They might not. Just because they're growing now doesn't mean so they'll be growing later. This is always what I find with anything that I plant. Just because it starts growing doesn't mean so it's going to stay growing. Now, just take off the outer leaves. We'll lose some to the slugs maybe. Any kind of bug. That's why you have to grow so much. Right. Oh, I don't know, I'm going to have enough pots now. Might have to use this pot and put 2 in there. Let them come on a bit before we we're nearly there. How many more have we got to go? We have 1, 3. Oh, I don't know why I've got so many. Oh dear. I do this like my tomatoes last year. I don't know why I grew so many tomatoes. I bought buckets so that I could plant tomatoes in them. I mean, the buckets are going to come in handy because I'm actually going to put my trees in them now. But what was I thinking? I mean, they all got manky and horrible, a lot of them. No, I'm not doing that again. I'm only growing, as you saw, I'm only growing 2 birds. Let's just put some water and that'll be done. I might go up tweets, I need to get past you. I can't do those now, that's the way. Beautiful pepper. That pain is really hurting my leg. Let's get going. now eat treats. And on the limits. On the limits. Move out the way, sweets. Move, Tweety. Move, Tweety. Obviously, when you put them in these teeny tiny pots, you've got to water them more. Whereas these bigger ones at the back won't need to water them so much. So you don't want to keep them in these pots for very long. I'll just give these cabbages some more water. There you go. Just make sure I've got plenty of water. Nearly sorted them. Nearly sorted out the cabbages. Right, so tomorrow we're going to do something with the cabbages. The red cabbages. We need to get them in the garden or something. So that's it. So today's jobs, we've done weeding, watering, potting on. We've potted on purple sprout and broccoli, cauliflowers, white cabbage. And here are my hyacinths that were in a pot. They're almost round, they were. And I've got them in individual little ones of these to dry out in the polytunnel. And then we're going to keep them dry until the autumn, and then we'll plant them in a pot, something, probably inside the polytunnel for next year. I'll just put my glass in my pocket. If I've got energy later, I'm just going to pop out. I'll take my kneeling cushion and I'm just going to pop out into the, just outside number 10 where I live at the moment, and go and put the primulas that my son bought me and his partner, and put them in the front garden. They need to come out of the pots that they're in now and be put in the garden for next year. There's still some flowers on them, but I'm going to do that, so I might pop out and do that later on. I'll take the kneeling cushion with me, but for now I'm done. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions about growing brassicas, I'm not an expert on anything. I'm just doing it for myself and my partner so that we can eat our own homegrown food basically, and without having to buy everything from the shop. And it's great, therapeutic. It's really good for your soul to grow stuff. It's really good for me. Now I'm convalescing after having a stroke. I'm finding this very therapeutic, and it's gentle exercise. It's and I'm exercising because I'm walking around a lot and kneeling down and stuff like that. So I'm not, and it's really good for my brain as well, remembering stuff and all that kind of thing. But I get tired very quickly. So I can't do like I did before and spend hours and hours and hours in the garden working the whole time, and I can't spend hours and hours indoors painting and decorating the whole time. I'm not doing any decorating at the moment, which is